Now, you know, this situation with the untimely passing of our brother Kevin Samuels has, like I say, has been very, very eye opening of the level of evil that's in the black community. And I don't relate to these people. I don't relate to a lot of these new Negroes. I don't relate to them at all. They ain't my people. I'm gonna say that right now. I ain't related to none of you. Now, Vivica Fox on Fox Soul. She is a clear cut example of what a lot of brothers be talking about in these streets. The level of evil and crass woman out here. Now let's go ahead on and get into this clip, because we're gonna talk about Vivica here for a minute.
Man was a hypocrite, in my honest opinion. He really was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable. To me, it was a shock jock. And, you know, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So, you know, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality. Rest in peace.
So you heard this evil, wicked woman and what she said about Kevin Samuels. The brother hadn't even been buried yet, and they just throwing all kind of, lies and dirt on that brother. You know what I'm saying? Once again, people called Kevin Samuels' show. He didn't pick up the phone and call nobody. They called his show, and they asked him for advice. Then I had some slow, ignoramus female that came to my chat talking about they asked for advice. They didn't ask for his opinion. Are you slow? Are you slow? Somebody's advice is their opinion. But this is the level of intelligence that we have in this so-called community. Anyway, well, I was wondering, why was she so mad at Kevin Samuels? It didn't take me long to realize that a year ago, he made a live stream talking about her the way she talked greasy to Ice Cube. Now, you remember Ice Cube had to come back with the contract of Black America. So he was going to different programs, talking to people about that, trying to help us out politically, right? Ice Cube didn't have to try to help us out at all. He living good where he at. He ain't got our problems. And yet Ice Cube was trying to do that. And you had Vivica just viciously attack that brother, say, well, you mean contract with Black America? Well, what black women? You're like, it's Black America. Aren't you part of Black America? And they started the whole thing talking about, no, it has to be something specific for black women. So Kevin made a stream talking about Vivica's sorry, trifling tale at that time period. So I guess she was still salty from that live stream that Kevin made about her about a year ago. And I'm going to tell you something else and why she's mad about that comment. Now, Kevin didn't say throwaway. That's not the term he used. He used at the time, and from what they would say he got it from, was from Japan. In Japan, they have a thing called leftover women, and they actually do it at the age of 32. Kevin said at the age of 35. He said you would be considered a leftover woman if you're 35 and older. That's what he said. And he gave a lot of reasons why he said that. Now, do I completely agree with Kevin on that position? No, I don't completely agree. I think it depends on the situation. Some women do fit that category of being leftover, sure. But some of them don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like the women that could be 35 that took care of themselves. They don't even have a child yet. So that's one aspect. Or let's say the woman do have one child, right? She has one. She still took care of herself. And even though she's definitely would be late in childbearing years and pregnancy is going to be definitely more difficult at 35 versus 25. But, a lot of guys is not really out there trying to have kids like that. So it just depends on the situation. Some guys, they say like myself, I couldn't at this age I am now go looking for no 25, 26-year-old because I need a certain level of intelligence around me, right? And it's good to have women that know what they're doing, who's smart, etc. But everybody's different. And that was Kevin's, ideology and what he thought. And that's what that brother thinks. But the reason why Vivica was mad about that comment, let's get into her. She fits what he's saying 100%. Now, back in December 1998, she was married to a dude by the name of Christopher Harvest. In 2002, her behind got divorced. Now, we know about her dating 50 and all that. And they say in 2011, it says she was engaged to a club promoter by the name of Omar Slim White, but they broke off the engagement after 10 months. And she said her biggest regret is that she did not have children. Now, she is a part of that Divine Nine, that Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Okay, letting y'all know that. But this woman is the same age as Kevin Samuels. Same age. Kevin Samuels had a lot of options. Even at his age, that Vivica didn't. See, that's the difference. A man that's 56, 57 years old, who got his act together, got a whole lot of options versus a female like her with a nasty attitude. Because I can't even say her age, because they got women that's her age and they have a sweet spirit about themselves and they get married and everything else, even at their age. So it's not even about somebody's age sometimes. The fact is, Vivica, you just ugly. You're ugly inside and you're ugly outside. That wall done hit you so hard in your face, Vivica. My God, that wall done hit you. And that's why you sit here and salty and mad about Kevin Samuels. This man ain't been married. See, the thing is, they talking about black women. You don't care about black women. What about his black mother? What about his black daughter? You don't think about them? Whatsoever about your comments. See, this is the issue. This is the issue here. And a lot of these little women like them need to listen. Your ugly, evil tail is the reason why you're not going to get married. No man going to put up with you. I would never tell a man to put up with any of you. Any of you. Lying on Kevin. Like I said before, I watched Kevin tell white women the exact same thing as black women. I watched him tell Hispanic women, Asian women on his show. You like to sit up here and lie. Don't lie. Tell the truth. You can tell the truth on anybody's situation. If you disagree with Kevin on what his opinions were, that's okay. That's fine. But don't lie. And some of you think that just because you black, you gonna get a black man. That's not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. Now, statistically speaking, black people with black people, white people with white people. That's just statistically speaking. But you sitting up here so angry and bitter and mad at Kevin Samuels. You still not married, Vivica. Nobody wants your behind. Nobody wants you. What man in his right mind would want a woman like you? You evil. You're freaking evil. Sit up there talking about this karma. Let me tell you something. Maybe you live in a karma right now too. You're childless. You're not married, and you sitting up here hating on a man that passed on in a very, like say we all shocked that happened. Vivica, be careful. Just be careful, because you know what? You don't know if it's going to be you tomorrow. You don't know. Nobody knows the day or the hour when it's time for them to leave this earth. Nobody knows. But the time that you hear, you're bitter. You're bitter and mad at 50 Cent. You're bringing him up. 50 Cent, you see his girlfriend that he got now. Ain't nothing new. She look way better than what you look at this right now. See, you're bitter and you're mad because you wasted your life. You wasted your youth. You wasted your life. All that time that you had your youth, all that time that people, but you know what? Them guys saw something in you. That's why nobody married you behind. That's why they didn't marry you. And now you're sitting on Fox Soul mad. Don't follow the example of Vivica Fox, ladies. Because all you're going to end up is being bitter, old, and by yourself. And once again, I'm going to tell you this. These females like that think just because I'm black, it entitles me to a black man. No, it don't. No, it don't. You got to compete for black men, especially black men of substance. Your skin color don't matter. And I love black people all day long, but your skin color don't matter. Not in 2022, it don't matter. When it comes to competition for black men, it don't matter. Because the black men that got the money in the top 10, 20% of black men, they not swinging no Pan-African flag. They not on this, black fist. They ain't on that anyway. Let's call it what it is. They're not. So you can't shame them with anything. The fact is, you got to compete for those men. Now, you have more access to compete due to you being black. And most of those men want black women, but you still gonna have to compete for those men. Just like men got to compete. Men got to compete with all races of men. We can't cry and say, well, just because I'm black, I deserve it. No, we can't say that as men. No, you get out there and you got to compete with all men out here for whatever you trying to get. So you notice that toward the end, she mentioned about the lady that was with Kevin, the Miss Hortensia lady. So I know she's gonna be making comments about her. I don't know her full nationality. I know she has definitely sound like Hispanic background, but I don't know fully what. I fully don't know. But she's gonna make a deal about that. Talking about her color. Like that's gonna fix anything. Whether Kevin was still here or not. Kevin wouldn't be with your behind. But you got some women like her that think that, she has every right and privilege or something. No, you got to compete. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And if you don't want to compete with for the top men, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to sit there getting salty and being mad. But a lot of men, from what I know, they're not putting up with y'all. So if you want to sit up there and be ugly and salty and bitter all the time, black men are getting their passports every day. And it's not that black men are saying they want to go to all these different communities. No, they got black men that go to the African continent all the time and picking up women. Some of them go to Latin America. Some of them, zooming to Thailand. Travel OG, shout out to him. Zooming to Thailand and everything else they doing. Things have changed for the brothers out here. They do not have to put up with your ugly, evil tail. They ain't got to put up with that. So do not follow the example of Vivica Fox. That's what you don't want to do. Do the complete opposite of that. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about, this wicked woman. This woman wicked. This a wicked and evil woman. Oh, I can't stand the wicked and evil women like this. Just mad she messed up her life or whatever and sit up here celebrating, our brother Kevin Samuels, passing away in a timely manner. Boy, people in this community make me sick sometimes.